Important message. We want to introduce Ron Presby. He's not a man used to the spotlight, by the way. He's always been happy serving others and living his own life without needing to be the star. So for him to be our featured patient speaker today, it's a really big deal. Before being diagnosed with ALS just 1 year ago, Ron took on many jobs that had basically no connection to each other. He worked in the grocery business. He constructed teeth, did graphic design for the Philadelphia Gay News, and eventually was drawn to work with a catering company with Penn Museum called Restaurant Associates. And he chose that job because the listing had 3 special words: no experience necessary. While his professional life has been a fun mix of all walks of life, he's stability and comfort from his family and his husband Bob Schumann, sorry about that. And Ron and Bob met over 35 years ago, by the way. Life sent them in different directions, but when Ron moved back to the area, they reconnected, and they've been together for the past 18 years. When Ron and Bob were able to legally marry in 2004, they had a simple ceremony. They did it. These days, Ron is no longer at his job, but he is surrounded by family and friends, working on many crafts and enjoying and appreciating life. And today, he wants to share how vital the ALS Association Greater Philadelphia chapter has been for him over the past year. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Presby.
Hi, my name is Ron Presby and I have ALS. I was diagnosed last year on February 10th after about a year of trying to find out what was wrong with my left leg and foot. I'm told that this is pretty much the case with ALS, being diagnosed after seeing a number of doctors and going through numerous tests. And with the multiple symptoms it exhibits, I understand why doctors would think that it might be something else. On hearing the diagnosis, I was devastated and in shock. Even with the fact that my doctor had mentioned ALS as a possibility before the EMG, I thought that that was the last thing it could be. I was always very active, and this was possibly the worst sentence that could have been given to me. I went home in disbelief and thinking that I could beat this. I went downhill quickly. We booked a trip to Disney World for my 60th and my grandson's 9th birthdays. We arrived on Easter, and it was difficult, but I wouldn't trade that time for anything. It's my nature to look for the positive in life, so I always thought to myself that I was grateful for my 60 years and my life's experience up to this point. I had done a lot, had had some good times. I didn't feel sick and I wasn't in any pain. Marriage for same-sex couples had passed, and I had married my longtime partner, Bob Schumann. A few days after I saw my doctor and had received the bad news, I got a phone call from the social worker, Brenda Edelman. She told me about the ALS Association. My job was very physical, and one of my concerns was a transition from work to Social Security for the disabled. She told me exactly what to do to help me make this transition. At my first ALS clinic, I met a whole team from the association: the social worker, the mental health nurse, volunteers, therapists, researchers. They each took as much time with us as we needed, answering questions and performing tests. I was having a hard time getting in and out of the car and mentioned it to the physical therapist. She told me that the ALS Association had a closet with learner equipment. The next day I received a handle that attaches to the door frame to help you in and out of the car, and a cushion for the seat that swivels so you can turn your whole body to exit. Within the next few months, whenever I complained about mobility issues, I was sent a walker, a chair that helps raise you to a standing position, a shower seat, a rail to help you out of bed, a companion wheelchair, a commode so that I had something to grab onto to get off the toilet, as well as a riser to bring the height of the seat up. I have a friend with Parkinson's disease, and she told me that she was having a hard time finding a support group. I told her about the ALS Association. She couldn't believe it. I have received a lot of reading material from them for coping with this ailment, for my caretakers and me, and for what to say to my grandson about ALS. I get a calendar every month or two with times and dates for support groups for my husband/caregiver and me. It gives dates for fun and family events, usually free of cost, and for informative speakers. There are visiting volunteers, Joy and Colleen, which come to our house at least once a week to help us. And their support continues. The ALS Association helped us to get a handicap ramp installed, enabling me to get in and out of the house, a chairlift for the stairs, and through Beata, a home care aide to help me shower and dress in the morning. I have a motorized wheelchair on loan to me while I'm waiting for approval from Medicare for my own. They sent a handicap-accessible van to pick me up from home, take me to Jefferson for the clinic, wait for me, and take me back home. That was a total of at least 6 hours. There are people in the association you can call to answer questions about research, assistive technology, financial aid, mental health, and a plethora of other subjects. Most recently, Brenda found us a therapist that comes to our house once a week to help Bob and I cope with all that we're dealing with. She found him through another agency that isn't even related to the ALS Association, the Jewish Federation. Because she knew that we were looking for someone, she made the extra effort, and he's a perfect fit for us. So although dealing with ALS is difficult, I still have some gratitude in my life. I'm grateful for my husband, Bob, for all he does for me, and for being on this journey with me. I'm grateful for my family, especially my 2 sisters, Michelle and Sharon, for taking all the time they do, for being there for me, and everything they do for us. And I'm grateful for the ALS Association, especially Brenda and Gail, for all they have done, all they continue to do, and all that they will do in the future, not only for me, but for every person diagnosed with ALS. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.